Welcome to Totally Talent Podcast by HR.com, your go-to source for all things talent. Whether you're looking for expert insights on high-volume hiring, the latest trends in recruitment technology, or strategies for building a winning team, we've got you covered. Join us for each episode as we dive deep into the challenges and opportunities shaping the talent landscape today. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Totally Talent. I'm your host, Mike Wood. We're coming to you live from HR Tech, and I'm here with Anoop from SeekOut. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
So we want to talk about Spot. Tell me, what is Spot?
So basically, we are entering a world of agentic AI.
Yep.
And the question is, what does this mean, what you can do? We think AI agents and humans are going to work together and transform how talent acquisition is done. They're going to elevate the recruiters to do what is uniquely human in connecting to hiring managers, connecting to candidates, the emotional intelligence and everything that is there. And what agents can do is a lot of the middle, hard, repetitive work and augment the recruiters, automate a lot of that stuff. So how do you get to a great scorecard? How do you source thousands of candidates, including inbound? How do you evaluate candidates? How do you message candidates? How do you screen candidates? A lot of that can be done by AI agents, supervised by humans. So that's the transformation that we see now.
So you're spending less time doing the manual tasks that nobody wants to do,
Yes.
and more time actually talking to candidates, and
Yes.
and you're getting a pool of qualified candidates right there for you.
Yes.
And your agent makes you essentially like like a little small army.
Yes.
Because you have all
Yes.
these agents that can do the repetitive tasks.
Yes, indeed.
So what will this have you already started talking to some of your customers about this, that this is coming? Have they tried to try it yet?
Yes, we have many customers from startups to enterprises who are using it today and benefiting from that. Some of the things that you get, one is speed. That is how fast you go from when you have an intake meeting to you have interview-ready candidates. That can be as short as 3 days, looking across thousands of candidates. The other thing you get is quality, and the quality comes from AI allows you to look at a broader spectrum of prospective candidates, evaluate them on day one, reach out to them the same day or day two, so they start responding. So you get speed, you get quality. And the third thing we talk about often is what we say, is demand agility. Hiring is something that's going up and down all of the time. And TA leaders struggle with how many full-time people to have in there. So in times of up and down, so as you get to these efficiencies, and then it allows much easier way to have flexibility.
Flexibility is king. So tell me what made you start to get into the agentic AI? Obviously, that's a huge thing. That's on. When was it kind of in the roadmap for you?
So, as founder of the company and my co-founders, we are geeks by nature that follow. So, to go a little bit into history, my PhD thesis from Carnegie Mellon in 1986 was on AI and systems. Okay,
Wow.
I was a professor at Stanford for 11 years, and I worked on a design of the chips like NVIDIA and what they're doing. My first company, Streaming Media, was acquired, and so we started Streaming Media. The birth of the internet in 1995 was acquired by Microsoft in 97. I had the privilege of directly reporting to Bill Gates as his technology advisor. I ran the Skype and Exchange divisions, et cetera, et cetera. So we track what's happening in technology, what is early, Many of our friends are deep, deep, deep into it. So we knew what was happening, and we wanted to be a part of it, and we wanted to see how we can apply it to one of the most critical functions, who are the people you have in the company.
So I'm just amazed that you wrote your thesis on AI back in '86. What was AI thought about back then? Like, what was it?
So AI at that time was two things. One was there were a lot of expert systems on how do you do intelligent stuff, and automate things and learn from knowledge that people had. So expert systems came from, you had experts in how do you get that knowledge into computers. Okay. The other thing that was happening at that time was a lot of the game playing. So that was one of the earliest times when the chess championships, were being won by computers and Go computers. So it was more applied in that sense and not the latest thing that has happened. It's been an evolution, since those early days.
Yeah, so AI has always been kind of in the background of a lot of these products, but since ChatGPT comes in, they feel like it's now like a marketing term. But like you've always been doing kind of AI.
Mike, yes and no. Okay. So what large language models and ChatGPT have done is indeed quite unique that the experts in the field did not expect. So one of the fathers of modern, ChatGPT stuff is a guy named Jeff Hinton. He's a professor in University of Toronto in Canada. He's been working, so when I was at Carnegie Mellon in 1985, he was working on it on a system called the Boltzmann machine. How do you do that kind of learning? 30 years later, as they put in more data, as they refine it, suddenly this thing appears. So this thing is pretty new and pretty amazing, on what it can do, and we get to all benefit from it.
So I think this is the first time in a long time that this is a technology that everybody's kind of learning at the same time, and it's all like, if you go up into the startup pavilion, you'll see 20 different startups that have the exact same product with a different color scheme, and it's like, it's like a massive race to get to these things, but like how do you so what do you read to stay on top of what's happening in the space?
OpenAI's ChatGPT and Claude from Anthropic, they're available to everyone, okay? And so it is hard to stand out if you're just putting a little bit of a skin and you're doing. So there is this new notion of what is called vertical AI. And what does vertical AI mean? Because not a show, you want to eventually deliver end results, outcomes that you want to do. What that requires is a lot of domain-specific intelligence that requires these systems to interface to the databases, the ATSs, the HRISs, and everything and look at that data. It requires that you interface to the people processes. To deliver the outcomes, there's still people out there. And people have preferences, people have nuances, people have politics. Okay, so you have to deal across all of that before you can deliver outcomes. So it is this vertical AI domain where you are narrower, but going very deep into understanding what is actually happening to generate the final outcomes. How do the hiring managers interact? How do the recruiters? So, there's just a lot of fun stuff, and that's what we have been doing. We are going deep. We have started 9 months ago on delivering the solution already, and we are learning every day and refining it so that we are delivering results.
You need to teach the industry. Go back in the teaching. I love listening about this stuff because we're all self-learners and stuff, but you've been, the history for it, and so I commend you for that. Some content out there to educate the space on what's actually AI and what's a buzzword. But so let's talk what's next for SeekOut. What are you What are you excited about that you guys are working on besides fun?
So I'm saying is, so within the, recruiting, there are a lot of further things. For example, how do you interview? How do you screen? How do you use AI for all of those persons? So one of is completing the stack. The second thing that is happening a lot is around what are the new business models. So LinkedIn is used to, per recruiter seat pricing.
Yep.
If that is the model, you don't want recruiters to be 5 times more efficient.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you need 5x.
Yeah.
So how do you price for outcomes and what are the business models? How do you drive comfort? So while the ideas are all there, there is a lot of real work that needs to be done with the customers, with the leaders, with the management to make sure it becomes common practice and an approach that people take.
This has been a great interview. I really appreciate it. You remind me of like some of the favorite professors that I've had in my life. So I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mike.
And definitely check out SeekOut and Anoop.
Thanks for tuning in to the Totally Talent podcast by HR.com. We hope you find today's episode insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to explore more episodes and discover valuable resources at hr.com/podcasts, where you can listen to all of our podcasts. Until next time, keep leading with purpose and making a difference in the world of talent.